So today ought to be a great adventure. This is actually a brand new spot for me. I researched this a year or two ago, and you've heard this story already about other places I've researched because they're all kind of the same, and that's why I'm here, because they're kind of the same story. Came across an interesting article where they were interviewing an old guy back in like 1960s, and he said that he heard, although it wasn't him, so that's a red flag, he heard that in this river here, there were kids who used to come down here and find all kinds of cannonballs and mini balls and stuff like that, because there was a ford here, and when an army crossed, a bunch of the wagons flipped over because the water was really high. He even named what army that was, so that's a green flag. Only two places on this entire river in this stretch where there could be a ford. One is right here, which looks pretty good, but from the clues I could glean, I think that might actually be the fording area up there. You can see some white water, and right after that it gets deep again, and there was a ferry above that. Now I did see the ferry on the map, but no ford. So this is going to be another feast or famine. Either we'll find a ton of stuff or nothing at all, but we're going to make a video no matter what. I'm going to kind of zip across to the far bank over there because it looks like bedrock, and work my way up to the most likely spot, which is upriver. When you're digging in rocks like this, these cobbles and sand, anything heavy and old, generally speaking, will sink down very deep, and you'll have tons of aluminum cans and pull tabs all mixed in up shallows. We're going to hit the bedrock first, some river treasure, and then we'll work the harder areas as we go along. Well, I got my first target of the day, and well, maybe I can use that in my boat if I fix it up a little bit. And another target here, big old iron thingy, but I don't think it's going to be a cannonball. If I get her loose, here we go. Yeah, that's another motory thing, isn't it? Ooh. Search this area. There's really no horseshoes or anything to indicate that's the ford, so I'm hoping that is the ford up there, and I really kind of believe it probably is, and we'll know as soon as we find a few horseshoes or cannonballs, or maybe even a cannon. They say they lost a cannon too, although I would find it highly unlikely they didn't retrieve that as soon as the water went down. Well, I found my first little piece of lead. I don't think that's any sort of bullet, although it could be mortar and fired. I don't know. I just don't know what that is. And my first did shoe. Hopefully not. Just hunting the bedrock up through here. Again, the ford, what I think is going to be the ford, still way up there. But we'll hunt this down here, because there could be swords and bayonets and all kinds of stuff down in this section. Who knows? If they tipped over up there, some of that stuff could have floated through here. Just found this big old grate. I think this is a fire grate of some sort. You can tell it's been burned. It might be off the railroad. There is a railroad up ahead, so that might have been what they burn coal in to make steam. We'll use that as grate to shake out the bottom. I don't know what it is for sure, but it's definitely been burned. Got an old trap. This is an animal leg hole trap. Obviously it's been abandoned. I don't want you trappers to get all freaked out if I take it, will ya? As I was putting the trap in my bag, I happened to look down, and looky, I do believe that's a horseshoe. Sure enough. That's a good old one. Still got lots of nails in it, well worn. That's probably related to the ford. I mean, a farmer could have pitched it in, but if we start finding a bunch of them, or a bunch of halves, then we'll be better able to say it's ford related. We're still headed that direction, but I want to hunt all through here, dig all this iron. There's tons of cans in here though, so I'm having to be a little bit careful about digging every little squeaker, because this is about the 100th can I've found. And there's another one right there, and another one right up there. Oh, we're getting closer to the ford. Got a nice iron signal here. I was hoping it might be like an artillery shell, but I think it might be a piece of pig iron, but it's so wedged in the rocks I can't get it out. I'm gonna put you under with the camera, see what it is, and if it's something good, we'll have to come back some other day, because I just can't get it out with what I have. Might be a window weight too, I'm not sure. It is iron for sure though. That's scrape marks on the top from my pick. But yeah, it's not really cylindrical, so I don't think I think it's a piece of pig iron is what it is. Have to leave it for now. Well, I think I might see some river treasure. I've seen a couple like phone cases, the baggies have been shredded and really old. So people must use this little creek for tubing or something, or kayaking, but I think there's a phone down here. I have not picked it up. but it certainly does. Well, let's go in there and take a look real quick. What do you think? Is that a phone? Maybe it's a wallet or a whole bunch of gold coins or a bag of junk. I guess we're gonna find out. Oh, it's junk. No. I thought that was a phone case. Oh well, at least it's aluminum. I can recycle that. Well, we're up in the area of the ford where I think the ford is, and I think that's probably, that could be the fording area right there. It looks actually pretty good. I just found a tool. I mean, that could have come off of a wagon that was tipped over. Just found this. I think that's a cap off of a post. Nice shallow area going across here. I think that's an island actually, and then goes off on the other side. So we're going to look around there as well. I can't even dig a good signal in here unless it's a solid like 72 and small. So I think it's a mini ball, but there's so many cans. It's just unbelievable. So I popped over to the other side of the island, hoping to maybe find some horseshoes over here, broken horseshoes, because there's so much junk over there, and those cobbles are impossible to dig in. And I'm finding a lot of junk over here as well. This is kind of interesting. Had a nice signal, but it's brass with some type of other metal in the top there for a screw. Not what we're after. I mean, it's not Civil War era, but feels like I'm getting closer at least. Did just find this. You know what that is? That's a pin off of the railroad. This is one of the things that helped hold railroad cars together back in the old days. There would have also been a link, a little oval link, and you would have used two of these and a link. Well, I guess I'm going to call it quits. I've been here for about 4 hours. I've not found anything that makes me indicate we found the ford. We did find a horseshoe, but that could have come from a horse that died and floated down the river. The most interesting thing I found, I just eyeballed it just as I was crawling up here on the bank. I think it's part of a lantern. So this was definitely a dud. You saw pretty much everything I found. I am going to get some lunch, so I feel a little bit better about myself. Then we're going to take off and go to another spot. We best get a move on. We'll see you again just a little bit later. And I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no